Hey, I hope you're doing well. Tamotsu here. Starting today, I wanted to do something a little different and try to get out more videos more often. So these daily thoughts videos will come a lot more often, hopefully on a daily basis, so that I can share with you what I'm thinking about. The thoughts or the insights that came throughout the day. I would love to share that with you. And as usual, I would love for it to offer value. So if you can take something and incorporate it into your life and improve your daily life, I would be more than happy. So with that said, today, let's start by, talking a little bit about myself and the Vipassana 10-day retreat or 10-day course that I decided to go with along with my wife. Now, again, my name is Tamotsu, and I have a degree in psychology. I didn't decide to pursue psychology as a career, but I've always enjoyed really observing and putting to analysis how humans behave. Not only that, more so focusing that lens on myself to see how I can improve my own life, and not necessarily from a selfish standpoint where I'm only out for myself, but the better I become, the more I evolve, the more higher consciousness levels I can reach, it will benefit all the people that I come into contact with, including you. And with that said, I think this path to self-growth had, already started at a very young age for me. Even when I was in elementary school, I didn't really see myself as like a normal kid. I always saw things from a meta perspective, and different perspectives than kind of your average kid. And I remember in middle school kind of going through an evolution and kind of confusion stage where I would look at certain things such as letters and words, and I would be staring at it and just kind of get lost in it and think to myself, wow, that word looks so weird. And the more I looked at a word, things started to look more and more weird. And when I say weird, I mean things like, wow, how can the word, W-O-R-D, turn into this sound that we say word? And how do we listen to that and think word? And so I went really through that rabbit hole, and I remember just being confused because I was always kind of intrigued and curious about how that worked. I've also, during middle school, had bullying incidents where I was bullied. But at that time, it was definitely bullying, but I didn't really take it too hard. I think that was very lucky of me because I had a different perspective and different outlook. I actually had compassion because when it was bullying, it was two much larger kids. And probably, we're talking about like 30 pounds, probably more than me. I was always a small kid, and they would physically abuse me. They would hit me, and they just really wanted to let their anger out. And I was the victim of that only because I was sitting next to them. The two were sitting very close to each other, and unfortunately, or now maybe it was a fortunate incident, now that I can talk about it and learn from it. I even from the middle school age, I felt that these kids were bullying me because I saw pain in them. It was probably because, they had a tough childhood. And with that said, although they were bullying me, the things that they did to me really didn't faze me too much. I remember my teacher seeing that, and the way I handled it, I think, she was impressed. And she decided to give me the Student of the Month award for that, because the way I reacted to the bullying was more not from fear. I didn't fear them, but I really felt for them more than anything else. So I think things like that happened, and things continued on, and we can go into this more as the channel grows and the more daily thoughts videos that I put out. But I just wanted to kind of share that with you, and then maybe about a little over 10 years ago, when I was living abroad, I seriously came across some self-development, self-growth material, and that really changed my life. At that time, I was very confused to what the truth was, and I was really in the search for truth. I didn't know if the truth was found in Buddhism or Christianity or any other religions. And at the same time, I was going through kind of a scientific stage where trying to figure out, okay, science, religion, is there something that we can reconcile between the two, and things like that. And it was a really tough time for me. But finding self-growth material, I started to really absorb that. Till this day, I haven't stopped. I spend hours each day consuming material, trying to incorporate that into my life. And I've come to a stage in my life where I can share things with you. I've incorporated and seen the results of the things that I've learned and put into practice, and I can share with you what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me, along with a lot of the insights that came to me, such as the ways of thinking about relationships. I think that's one of my strong points, where I have a fantastic, loving relationship with my wife, and that love is so hard to put into words, because it really resonates from my heart. And even talking about this, I can get choked up, and tears will start flowing. And so I think that's something that I really truly wish that you would be able to experience if you haven't. If you have, welcome to the club. It's an awesome, not only feeling, but it really improves the quality of life. And so I'm definitely more than happy to share all that, those learnings. And so with all that talk, let's go into what I'm up to now. So my wife and I decided to go on a 10-day Vipassana course. I'm kind of hesitant to say retreat, because I know that it's not going to be an easy time. Think about sitting for 10 hours a day in silence, the whole 10 days of silence, and 10 hours a day, starting very early in the morning, to sit and meditate. And, we're talking about sitting without much movement. It's not like we're lying down on bed. So I'm sure I'm going to get very sore. So with that said, what we've been doing, or more so myself, what I've been doing is to prepare for it, build up my core by sitting longer in meditation, longer and longer and longer. So that I build up my core. And usually I meditate about 20 to 30 minutes, but I've been throwing in 1 hour sits so that, again, I can feel my body and how it's reacting to sitting for a longer period of time. And with that said, I think I would like to go into maybe about a 2 hour sit very soon, just to get a feel for what I can expect. So yeah, we're very kind of nervous to go into this 10-day silence. We're going to be doing that in another state, so we're going to be flying out because these courses fill up quite quick, and the ones that were close by had been already filled up. And because my wife is pregnant, and we wanted to do this before she gave birth, for the reasons of, once we have a child, it's not like we can just take off 10 days that easily to do this type of course. And not only that, if we waited a little bit longer, she's going to be showing a lot more, which means she'll probably be a lot more uncomfortable sitting for such a long extended period of time. So we really considered those two things and decided that now is the time. Now is the time for us to buckle up and experience the 10-day Vipassana course. Let's see. So with that said, again, we're not looking forward to it in a sense of excitement, but more nervousness. I'm more worried about the physical pain that I'll have to endure, whereas my wife, she's a lot more extroverted, so she's worried about not being able to talk to me for 10 days or anyone, so she's that's kind of her nervousness than mine. So we're actually on the opposite ends of the spectrum, which is kind of funny, because I was telling her, yeah, I'll be okay without talking for 10 days, but I'm not really comfortable thinking about having to sit for so long, whereas she was exactly the opposite. But I'm sure that we'll both come out of it with new insights and another life-changing experience, because for my wife and I, we really focus on our relationship, because our relationship gives us so much. What we try to do is keep each other as close as possible. We communicate with each other very well. Even at the end of the day, we debrief. We don't necessarily call it debrief. We just sit down and talk about what's happened during the day, if we had any issues, or how we felt about things, what we thought about during the day. And that allows us to grow together, because both of us are growing. And if we don't communicate well, little by little, we're going to diverge. And I believe that's what happens to a lot of couples. And so for us, instead of diverging, if you can kind of think of maybe a DNA that kind of twists around, or maybe two vines crossing together, or crisscrossing together to even make a stronger, if it's a rope, how ropes are twisted, which makes it a lot stronger. And that's what we are trying to do with our relationship. And to this day, it's been working out very well. And we do, of course, come across issues once in a while, but every single day we're taking a step forward in our relationship. And even compared to 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years ago, I mean, our relationship has blossomed so much. I'm really interested to see what the future brings, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, how much our relationship can grow. Because sometimes I think to myself, wow, can it get any better? And life always surprises us by showing how much more we can grow together, and how much more happiness we can experience experience together. So again, this is one of my areas of confidence and strength and knowledge. It's the relationship between a husband and wife or a significant other. And I'm very excited to share that with you. I hope you can feel that through the video. And so, yeah, I don't want to make it any longer than this. So today will be the first daily thoughts video, and hope to continue this. With that said, I'm going to be going on the 10-day Vipassana, so there's going to be a little bit of time that you won't see me, but I hope to continue and share things with you, and in hopes to for you to take things that make sense to you, things that you want to try, and come out better and improve your life. So again, as usual, I'm sending you good vibes. Take care.